Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vase, a little earlier than usual. And look who else is up bright and early. Say hi, Leah. You're muted.
Yeah, this is an embarrassment.
Oh,
Tone.
whoa. We got mic issues there.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself for most of it. But hello, everybody. Tone asked.
Internet's not great. That sucks.
Okay, I'll be listening to the live
I
chat.
don't hear you
Bye,
anymore,
guys.
but I'm hoping my audience does.
Okay, bye.
Oh, now I hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to the live chat. Yes, we've been up since 3 a.m. So apologies. But I will look at your live chat and try to ask questions. But I'm gonna mute myself because it's really loud. Okay. All right. And that was really fun yesterday. Everybody should watch the talk from the Black Blockchain Summit. Sorry. Okay. I'm watching your live chat and covering my face.
All right. Hey guys, thank you for joining. I am flying off to Europe, so get used to having these shows take place and at European time, because that's what's probably going to start happening. And yeah, let me just double check that everything is set up and everything's working. Probably soon after this video, I'm gonna head to the airport. Got a nice 10-hour flight coming up, and spending one day in Ukraine, and after that, it's off to Baltic Honey Badger in Riga. All right, let's go to screen share. Boom. All right. We'll start with the website. And once again, guys, workshops. The workshop coming up, Bucharest. I'll be in Bucharest, Romania. Check that out. That's the only upcoming in-person workshop. I've cut back on in-person workshops a lot. You can still purchase the prior on-demand videos. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Q&As. Maybe I'll do some more of those. Those are cheap, like $50. Anyway, we're going to talk a lot about sequential today. I'm going to take a look at the markets. I'm going to go through the stocks. So this is going to be a good show. I'm going to give it at least a good hour, and we're going to get into it. I have to talk about the Bali Financial Summit, and look who is joining us. I got a lot of shit for trolling Da Vinci on this podcast, but guess what? He's coming. He's coming to enjoy himself. This is half vacation, half networking with traders. You meet hopefully a hedge fund or two that may be interested in your trading strategies to help you, and learn something from senior traders that have succeeded. This is an awesome event. Leah will of course be there. We'll have a couple of more pictures coming up by tomorrow. There should be one more here. Someone you guys may not be familiar with, but very, very good trader. So we will see how that goes. Unconfiscatable coming up. I'll start pimping that one out soon. All right, let's talk charts. Monthly chart, nothing's changed. Still looking bullish, but in a scary-ish form, or at least if we fall a little bit lower. This is the Heikin-Ashi version, so it smooths it out a little bit. So it still looks bullish, but you got to be careful there. The weekly chart is starting to come together, and not in a good way. So the weekly chart has been, I continue to say it, the weekly chart has not given you a trading opportunity with sequential, or not even without sequential. I need things to line up. You have certain things that are bullish, you have certain things that are bearish. The bearish case is starting to win out. You've broken the trend line, that's bearish. You're below the parabolic SARS, that's bearish. You're below the 7-week moving average, that's bearish. Sequential is just leaning bearish, but it becomes fully bearish if you fall below last week's low, which currently sits at 97.50. So if you fall below 97.50, you're in trouble. Okay, that activates a short trade on a weekly with the red 3 going below a red 2. I'm not a big fan of red 4s below red 3s or red 5s below red 4s. Not a big fan. They're still tradable, but not a huge fan. You can see it right here. Well, actually, the green 3 broke the green 2, so that didn't matter. That's why the green line's there. And but right now, the weekly is still in cash. The daily chart is the bread and butter. Oh, wow, we bounced up a little bit since an hour ago. The daily chart is really starting to look like a descending triangle. And that is not good at all. Now, I actually did expect us to hold the 128-day moving average. The 128-day moving average has been very good to Bitcoin over the years, and it may be good to it again. But until Bitcoin can break out of the top of the triangle, I'm going to remain very, very skeptical. And unless Bitcoin gets out of the triangle to the upside, I will assume the triangle will break down. And if it breaks down, the outcome is not pretty. The triangle target takes you all the way down to $5,000. And it gets me very, very close to winning my bet with Ran of Crypto Trader that Bitcoin is going to fall to 4,500. Now, I don't want to win this bet, guys. I would rather lose a steak dinner to Ran than watch my HODL position lose 50% of its value, right? Like that is not a very good trade-off. But I remain very, very concerned about this particular pattern. I believe that even though I wasn't a buyer of Bitcoin on this entire run up from 6,000 to 14, I believe there will be a good opportunity to buy into Bitcoin before it goes to new all-time highs. And that opportunity could come at the end of the year with the triangle breakdown. Now keep in mind, actually, I'm going to move this arrow to October 5th, and I'm doing that on purpose. October 5th is a very critical day for me. I believe something is going to happen on October 5th, but I don't know what it is. The October 5th date has been, I mean, all the dates for the next 100 years are, I can put them all in the chart. And this is my time cycle. I'm not the biggest expert at time cycles. There'll be better experts at time cycles at the Bali Financial Summit. But I believe something's going to happen October 5th. And the closer we get to it, the more likely we have an idea of at least in which direction price can move. 12-hour chart, not that interesting. It's on a 5, but, and here's the but coming. You got to be careful of this spirit of the 9 stuff that I've said before, right? This could have easily been a 5 candle. So if that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8, and that was 9. So the prior 12-hour candle. So we could be reversing a little bit on a 12-hour chart. I am watching 11,000 very carefully. And if we can break above 11,000, that also means we break above the triangle. So going above 11,000 at this point, but gets me bullish for potentially new all-time highs. We have to see how it gets there and when it gets there, but yes. This is the 4-hour, and the 4-hour is on a price flip on a candle that was a 9 earlier in its time period, right? So at one point in the last 4 hours, we had a 9. It's probably not gonna close as a 9, has to go all the way back down. But the 8 was a beautiful reversal candle, and we're on a 4-hour. But again, the 4-hour is leaning bearish. It's in this bearish channel. It's been in this bearish channel for months. And you can see the triangle forming, right? You can see this red line as support. I can actually extend it even further to the left here. You can see this triangle forming on a 4-hour chart as well. And pretty soon it's going to come to a point. I'm going to extend this line to the right. Pretty soon it's going to come to a point. And October 5th. October 5th is the date that I'm watching. 15-minute chart, not that interesting to me. I'm sure Joe Sass has a lot to say about it. This is minor profitability, and I think it's going to come back to this line. That is either $6,000 this year or $12,000 after the halving. This is the overall market cap, and you can see the overall market cap is still trickling down. I believe that the overall market cap can easily go to new lows without Bitcoin going to new lows, because shit coins are shit coins and everybody's leaving. Now, everyone is talking about old season that apparently started 3 days ago. Bitcoin dominance has fallen by 2%, and who cares? It's still going back to 90. Here is that, old season. Ethereum went up a little bit versus Bitcoin. Litecoin went up a little bit versus Bitcoin. They're just coming back to their prior level of support, which has now become resistance. They are coming off very nice looking reversal candles. B-Trash isn't really going anywhere, and not surprised. And can't wait for this thing to break down. Let's look at how the current year is doing. Yes, the altcoins have rose. Looks like EOS has risen the most in the last week, and everything is still negative against Bitcoin except Binance Coin. Gold. This is very interesting. Gold is not behaving well with sequential, which is why we're going to go back and talk about silver. Silver had an absolute textbook gorgeous 9 on a daily, which took place on Thursday of last week. It was a 9 on a daily marking the high, preceded by a combo and sequential 13s. And that same week, there was a 9 on the weekly, which is absolutely amazing. Like, the sequential could not have called the top any better than it did in silver. And those of you that are interested in sequential, you can buy access to it, to the code. All you have to do is go to tonebase.com, indicators, and everything is described here for you. So, and there was another gorgeous sequential call, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Keep an eye on the S&P 500 today. It is on a 9, but this is not the kind of 9 that screams we've topped. It's just not the kind of 9 I look for. I look for a 9 at the high, like the 9 on daily silver. That's the kind of 9 I look for, not consolidation. And so that's the kind of 9 you want. This is just consolidation. It doesn't really tell you much. I think we can pull back to the level of the breakout, which was 29.50, and then take off to new all-time highs from there. S&P weekly, nothing's really changed. Let's see if we can get to new all-time highs. Okay, now let's talk about other markets. I haven't done this in a while. I'm gonna try to run through them. Is Leah still on? Because I don't see her anymore. Let's find out. Miss Wald. Nope, she's not. Okay. If she was on, I was going to ask her if she had any questions. I'll glance through the live chat. I already see one interesting question. How often do descending triangles break to the upside? Is it significant that the weekly, monthly have not put in lower lows yet, and therefore we are still in an uptrend? Both very good questions. How often do descending triangles break to the upside? Approximately 30% of the time. But when they do, they go up violently. Okay, so what I'm saying is there is a 30% chance that this triangle is going to break to the upside. But if it does, it's going to new all-time highs and probably in swift order. Okay. So there's your good news, bad news, good news situation. And now your second question. Is it significant that the weekly and monthly have not put in low lows yet? It's really not that significant. And therefore, we are still in an uptrend. Well, we're in an uptrend based on those time frames. But it's not necessary for those time frames to put in lower lows because the daily is in a triangle and has major support at 9,500. But if that breaks, if we go below 9,000, then the weekly and the monthly will give you very, very bad signals. I'm not going to talk about 9/11, guys. It's irrelevant to the discussion. Let's see what else we got here. All right, let's go through a charts. I have currencies open. I wanted to go through the stocks, but let's just go through the currencies. The US dollar, we have to look at the dollar on a weekly chart. The US dollar is the strongest it's been in 2 years. Now, stop listening to gloom and doomers. The only time the US dollar has been significantly stronger than now was right after Trump got elected in 2016, going into 2017. Okay. This is a very bullish looking chart. Very bullish looking chart. That means that other currencies are going to be falling against the dollar. Look what happened to the dollar today. The dollar is up pretty damn big. This is the daily chart. All the moving averages are rising, and they're all properly above each other. Okay, dollar looks great. Let's look at the euro. The euro versus the dollar looks terrible. We are down 0.005 today, and the euro has just put in, I have to go to the weekly chart as well. The euro has just put in a new 2-year low. Okay, exactly 2-year low. That's not good. You can see how the moving averages are in bearish order. They're all below each other, but the 200 week is not yet dropping. But if I go to the daily chart, it looks like a disaster. All the moving averages are below each other. They're all accelerating to the downside. This looks very, very bad. The daily chart on the euro looks horrendous. I believe that the euro will reach its new all-time low, and it won't take. And I don't think it'll take that long. I believe that the euro will be below parity with the dollar. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize the euro was cheaper than the dollar in the .com days. Now, this should tell you something, right? Besides the fact that every single top seems to be corresponding to a 9, which is another reason to pay attention to sequential. Look at this. Look at the euro versus the dollar in the .com era. What happened in the .com era? The US stocks were skyrocketing to the upside. And I bet you the US dollar was also skyrocketing to the upside in the .com days. And there it is. Okay. So here is the US dollar between 1995 and 2001. And how much did it rally? It went from 80 to 120. That is a 50% increase in the value of the dollar versus other fiat currencies. And it took place in the biggest bull market the world had seen since the roaring 20s, right? Since before the Great Depression. So I don't see how it's going to be any different this time. I think it's going to be the same. I think that the huge rise in the stock market over Trump's second presidency will coincide with an insanely rising dollar. Trump will take it very personal that the dollar is rising. And at the end of his second term, because he doesn't care, he's not getting reelected again. He's going to try and destroy the dollar. because he's going to see the rise in the dollar's value against other fiat currencies as a bad thing, when in reality, it's not really a bad thing. So he's going to blame all other countries for the rise in the US dollar. And he's going to put in some insane measures to try and bring the price of the US dollar down. And that can cause some significant damage to the economy, making the president after Trump blamed for the biggest crash the market has ever seen. But before you can have the biggest crash the stock market has ever seen, the stock market has to double or triple in value, like the fourth phase of a hyperwave. And that's what Socrates and I talked about last time. The Euro GBP rate. I believe that the UK leaving the Eurozone, no, the European Union, not the Eurozone. Eurozone is the currency. I believe that the UK leaving the European Union is a good thing for the British pound, and therefore I expect the euro to decline against the pound. But I still expect the US dollar to be better than the euro. So I expect this relationship to continue going down, as the dollar should appreciate faster than the pound, but the pound won't be as bad as the euro. The Australian dollar. The Australian dollar has been hit pretty hard, and great time to go to Australia. I'm going to Australia, by the way, in January. There's no details on that yet, but they are coming. This does not look good. I mean, the Australian dollar has been down in the dumps before and rallied all the way above parity against the US dollar. I think this time they're in trouble, and I think they're going to fall. The New Zealand dollar is doing even worse. The New Zealand dollar, I believe, will also depreciate against the US dollar. Canada, not looking good either. I should go back to Canada more often. Things are going to be very, very cheap there if you have US dollars. Sucks to be Canadian, but right now you are looking at potentially a bigger devaluation of your currency against the dollar. The Swiss franc is holding up nicely. It continues to hold its parity. No comment. I think the Swiss franc will do much better than the euro, though by this chart, doesn't really look like it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I forgot which currency came first. This is euro in Swiss francs, and I think this will get much better for the Swiss franc. Japanese yen, not looking good. You broke this monster symmetric triangle. You've broken down from that triangle. Looks like you want to try and retest, but I think that this is US dollar in Japanese yen. And it looks like the Japanese yen is actually appreciating against the dollar. So I am bullish the Japanese yen versus the dollar. That is actually surprising, but that's what the chart is telling me to do. Brazilian real looks horrendous. That's a unreasonably big cup and handle. And if I didn't know any better, I would say Brazilian currency could potentially experience what Argentina has been experiencing. This thing can rise and rise quickly. This is a monster cup and handle with handle. This is insane. Like, if you think about it, if you're lucky, you're only going to go up. You're only going to devalue by this much. If you're lucky, you're only going to devalue by about 30%. Okay? But if you're unlucky, this is your future. Brazil. Boom. That is over 150% devaluation. Okay? Now, you can use absolute values or you can use percentages, but you move this over, that's not good. Okay? That's just not good. So I would not be interested in holding any Brazilian reals. Singapore, I will be in Singapore on this trip. Oh wow! So the Singaporean dollar has been doing pretty well. Looks like it used to be a lot cheaper for Americans to be in Singapore, and now it's only a 37% discount. To be honest with you guys, my favorite hotel in the world is the Marina Bay Sands. Cheapest room there is about $400 US dollars, which is like 500 Singaporean dollars. And I would love for that to be cheaper because I can't justify the expense. But I will be going to Singapore after Bali. And if your currency devalues to above 150 by October, I would be very interested in staying at Marina Bay Sands, my favorite hotel. I stream from their infinity pool. I don't want to go through all of them, but I do want to take a look at the Turkish lira. Oh, there goes the Turkish lira again. I really like visiting Turkey, but you guys got to get your shit together. Your currency is going into hyperinflation. Not a good sign. And if it breaks setup trend, it's in trouble. I'm going to Ukraine. I'll be there tomorrow. And the Ukrainian currency continues to appreciate against the US dollar. That is not surprising to me at all. I actually loved the Ukrainian currency is a great example for sequential. 9 at the top, here, 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 and there. Looks like it's appreciating. Looks like it's doing well. I do want to take a look at the ruble. See, the ruble is not doing well. The Ukrainian currency is doing significantly better. This is not a good posture, not a good chart. Looks like the ruble is ready to depreciate more against the US dollar, but not the Ukrainian hryvnia. The Ukrainian currency is actually in a very good posture. And every time I go there, I'm able to buy less and less shit because their currency is getting strong. As a consumer with US dollars, that's not good. But as a Ukrainian, it's good because your currency is strengthening and you can afford goods from other countries. I'll be in Indonesia as well. In Bali, I'm not sure what currency there. Oh, it's Iran. Sorry, not Indonesia. That makes no sense. Oh yeah, Argentinian peso. You look hyperinflation. This should be added to my hyperinflation list. To me, hyperinflation is 50% devaluation in a month. That actually did not happen, unfortunately. So it can't be added to my list. Came close. Actually, what is this candle? What is the range of this candle? The low is 30 and the high is 41. So that is 33%. So that's 32%. Oh, but it's in a week. But wait. This could happen. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. What's the low? The low is, or the open. The open is 27 and the high is 41.50. So 27 to 41.50, is that 50%? What's half of 27? Half of 27 is, that would be 10 plus, that's 14 and a half. And then if you add 14 and a half to 27, do you get 41? And you do. Boom. New hyperinflation. 50% devaluation in 1 month. Doesn't have to be a month from first to third. It has to be a 30-day window. I'm not going to look at all of these. Do I care about any other currencies? South Africa. It's holding it. Bullish posture for the rand. Oh, sorry. Bearish posture for the rand. Looks like it's ready to depreciate against the dollar, but not by much. Indian rupee. Ooh, not good. Not good at all. Sudan. Yeah, I have a lot of obscure stuff because I was looking for hyperinflation. Mexico. Nope. Not looking. Ooh. A couple of 9s there. This triangle. Let's wait for it to break. All right. I want to talk about equities. US stocks. Hey, thank you for your donation, Farm. Much appreciated. Oh, yeah. I actually want to look at the Thai bot. Let me see. I can't go through all the currencies. Do I have Thai? There it is. Thai bot. Ooh. Ooh, my clothes are gonna be expensive. Thai baht, you're doing well. Good job. You had a monster devaluation back in the late 90s, but it's coming back. That is a pretty bullish sign for the Thai baht. Really is. Nordic stuff, disaster. I don't even have to zoom in. Disaster. You may want to cut back on your socialist programs there. Norway and Finland and this one ain't bad. The Danish krona ain't bad. SEK should be Swedish. Terrible. Terrible looking. All right, let's get to the stocks. One stock in particular, and that is, we'll get to Uber. Roku. I can't believe I missed it. I cannot believe I missed it. So I talked about Roku last week in both the chat groups that I'm in, the alert service that is free, check the YouTube description, and the day it hit a 9 right there. So we had a 9 on a daily, and I told people to be cautious and careful with Roku. But it went up, and then the red 2 went way above, and this is where I don't chase. I'm pretty sure I've said that. I would have loved to buy into Roku on a green 2 above a green 1 above the 9, but the way it happened was too risky. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. But here's the kicker. On a weekly scale, there was a 9. And on Monday, you opened on an up gap, traded up, and then the stock just got crushed. This is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is this morning. The 9 called it, and I can't think of it any better. Let's walk through the stocks. I didn't look at it the last 2 days. I had no idea it crashed, but I did point it out. I even wrote comments about it in the alert service. Amazon, I want to see it. Amazon is on a 9 buy potentially if it falls enough. I'm sorry, on a buy, on a 9 sell. I'm tired. You're not going to get the 9. It's got to go up above 5. It's possible, unlikely. It's in a slight bullish posture, but remember that hyper wave that we talked about. I think Amazon's going to new all-time highs, but wait till I pull up Netflix. Netflix is in a very critical juncture. We're on daily. I want to go to weekly. I'm not sure what the hyper wave is. Maybe Socrates did it, but it's bouncing off of this area, and it's on a weekly 9. Amazon, I would take a shot. I would take a shot on Amazon. I'd expect it to rally here. I don't expect it to break down. Is Amazon potentially in danger with Roku and Amazon? Yes. Is it going to crash tomorrow? I don't think so. So I'm leaning a little bullish on Netflix at the moment. Apple, it's bullish to me. Still on a 3 of weekly. Anything on a daily? Yep, got to get out. Look at the last 9 and look at this 9. It's a daily 9. You're still okay weekly. I would take my profit from Apple and I would wait. If you see a green 2 going above a green 1 and above the 9 in an orderly fashion, it becomes potentially a decent buying opportunity. Google, not interesting to me. Same as Apple. Tesla, I'd love to buy a Tesla if I drove more often. Tesla is coming up on a 9. It's on a nice rebound to the upside, but the 9 is tomorrow or today. I'm not sure what date that is. The 9 is, today's the 11th. So the 9's today. Okay. So be very careful. It might pull back a little bit, but I still think that it'll pull back only 1 to 4 candles and then go higher. Facebook looks pretty bad, got rejected by a moving average. If we fall below the next moving average, it's in trouble. Microsoft. It's been a bullish forever. I don't see any major concerns here. AMD. Ignore this arrow as part of the options class. No comment. It can go either way. NVIDIA. Ooh, I like NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks great, but guess what? Here comes the 9. So if you're not in NVIDIA yet, you want to wait. You don't want to get in now. You want to wait for a pullback and then get it. Ford. Coming up on a 9 today. Let's see what happens. I don't like this chart. Like it's in neutral in either direction. Tilray pulled back a little bit. Let's see if Tilray can hold the low. Ooh, and let's see if Tilray can give you a 9 on a weekly. It just did. There's your 9 on a weekly. You may want to wait till next week. It held setup trend. It gave you a 9. It has a pretty good probability of a reversal. Just has to break the next moving average. I think Tilray has a shot here, finally. GE still surviving. No real comment. Starbucks. Ooh, I want to see Starbucks. Put it next to Tilray. Starbucks hits a 9 and crashed. Those that bought put options a few months out, you did well. Those that shorted the stock also did well. Okay. Beautiful 9. Beautiful Harami. And down we go. Can it bounce from a moving average? Yes. But it has now gone beyond the 1 to 4 candle correction. So we're probably going to go lower. Starbucks had a good run, and this area should have taken you out of the stock. Not sure why TSG is still on this list. Not interesting to me. I'm not even going to look at Box. I will look at Twitter because I use it all the time. I still have plenty of bullish upside. Roku, we already covered. Let's talk about One Trick Pony. GoPro. GoPro makes cool products, but if you look at their stock, you'd think their scammers are killing people. I would wait a little bit. I would wait for it to break this moving average trend, the setup trend. Fake Zoom. Fake Zoom is pulling back again. Real Zoom. Oh boy. Oh boy. If Zoom breaks the IPO low, it is in serious trouble. If Zoom comes down to 60 bucks from 80 bucks, it's going to go down. It's going to go down hard. If that happens, I would love to pick up Zoom shares in the vicinity of $30, a 50% correction from the IPO price. Pinterest, not looking good at all. Ferrari hit a 9 on a weekly and down we go. It had a little bit of a rally and now it's back to new lows. This is a horrible sign. This is actually, this looks very, very similar to what I'm expecting from, oh man, what was the stock we just looked at? Oh, I skipped a bunch of stuff. Is it Starbucks? I don't remember. This doesn't matter. Fitbit is probably a disaster as well. Oh, looks like it's rebounding a little. I would wait. ATVI looks good. Looks like it's starting this bullish run again. Square looks bad. It is on a sequential 13. Reversed right off the 9. Wow, Square. Weekly 9 reversal. Anything going on the daily? Nope. And looks like a horrible chart. I would not be a Square investing in Square stock right now. ExxonMobil, nothing interesting. Boeing, nothing interesting. It has a bullish posture though. You can definitely break out. The African Amazon, I think. It's a 9. You got to know how to trade it, guys. I think this is bullish. It has fallen almost 50% below its IPO price. Certainly way more than 50 off the high. And might be a decent pickup. Lyft. I continue to be optimistic. Lyft is going to have a weekly 9 next week. On a daily scale, Lyft is on a 7. So, wow, next week's going to be interesting. So the 9 is going to come on Friday. If Lyft pulls back, it has to go below the 5. The 8 needs to be below the 6. That's unlikely. So you need a major drop in the market for Lyft to get to a 9. But I thought Lyft created a good bullish opportunity here. But of course, I got no, I may still be in the trade actually. Let's see how next candle goes. Let's see how next candle goes. And Uber looks bad, but it's coming up on a 9 weekly. And oh, I'm sorry, this is Lyft. This is Uber. Uber had its 9 weekly and it had its 9 daily. Oh, I think I re-entered a new entry, and I think that's what that is. And I don't know when I put this thing, but yeah, I wouldn't mind being long Uber right now and Lyft as well, because I think Uber can lift Lyft. I'm not going to get into it much on this one. I'm keeping an eye on Titan. Titan's rallying. I would not be in the stock short, even though higher level time frames are saying to be short. I'm keeping an eye on Budweiser because it topped on a 9 and has been slowly going down ever since. Nope, not important. Nothing's going on there. And finally, this is, what the hell's work? Oh, Slack. Slack's doing okay, but it's, no, it's not. It's bearish. Has Slack fallen 50% from its IPO price? Opening price, $38.50. I need that cut by 2. So that's around $18, $19. I'll wait. MOS. Oh, wow. Look at that. Called this one. This was one of my best looking stocks in the alert notification. It was a 9, beautiful candle, nice strength, and look at the follow through. Amazing. 9 tomorrow, probably a selling event. All right, guys, that's it. Kinda. That's it for me. If you're looking for the indicator, check out indicators. If you want to join us in Bali, check who else is coming now. We have Da Vinci. Da Vinci will be in attendance. He's coming to hang out. He's coming to hang out with traders. And it's going to be great. We have Willy Woo. We have Socrates, Ugly Old Goat, Van Zen, myself, Leah. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Check it out. All right. That's it for me. Not really doing any questions. I got to get to the airport. I don't think I'll stream from the airport. But looking forward to going back to Europe. And I'll see some of you at the Baltic Honey Badger. All right, guys. Hey, don't forget the store. I got some new shirts there. And on the workshop side, check out the Bucharest workshop going on in Romania. All right, guys. That's in about a month. Oh, wait. I'm not screen sharing anymore. But check that out. I will see you all on the next one.